Welcome back everyone to another episode of Civil Textures. My name is Ferdy, and today's video I'm going to be covering everything you need to know about Xrefs. Now, Xrefs are a very important aspect in AutoCAD and in the civil engineering process. Basically what Xref is basically somebody does one drawing, and then we reference our current drawing with that drawing. So basically think of it as the layers. So when you have one layer and then you bring another layer, imagine that other layer that you bring is from a different drawing rather than from the same drawing. So what are we going to be covering? We're going to be covering the units and the role of units in the Xrefs. We're going to cover the difference between attachment and overlay, and we're going to cover the difference between bind and insert, and what to be careful when you're doing your Xrefs. So let's start and try to cover everything as quickly as possible. Let's try and do it under 5 minutes. Let's say, what time is it? So it's 12:39. So to Xref, so basically connect one drawing with another, we're gonna use these examples. So we have our main drawing, topographical survey, proposed model, which is drawn in millimeters, the proposed model, which is drawn correctly. And as you can see, it's over here. And then we have the proposed model with the wrong UCS. Then we have the Xref drainage and the Xref levels. Now let's start. So in the main drawing, let's say we're starting a new job and a new project. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have your title block. What you want to do is bring your topographical survey in. Now, if we didn't have Xref, what we would do is create a layer topographical survey, copy paste that information. But in this case, we have Xref. So just type Xref, hit enter, and this window should appear. And all you have to do is hit the arrow and hit attach DWG. If the option DWG does not appear, then click the arrow to select the DWG. You can Xref multiple things. Actually, let's call it attach. So let's attach our DWG. Now, it will request us which drawing. So we're gonna go with the topographical survey model, and this window will appear, and let's go through everything. So we have the preview, we have the attachment or overlay, which are the reference type. Now the difference between attachment and overlay is the following. The attachment means that when you bring that topographical survey in your main drawing, whenever you Xref the main drawing into another drawing, the topographical survey will be brought with it. If we use overlay, then the topographical survey will not come with the main drawing if you Xref in a new drawing the main drawing. Now, the scale, usually we should not touch it for the topographical survey because they should have done everything to scale. And the insertion point, we should still not touch it because the topographical survey needs to be in the right coordinates. Now, if for some reason they use different coordinates, then you just can use the insertion point here. Now, the path type is basically the folder type or location. So if we have relative, it means that it's relative to the main drawing. So for the main drawing, it's relative. What will happen is it will be this and then plus this. So the extra file will be basically the path would be this. 3 dots will be that. But if we go full path, then the path will be the following. Now, there is pros and cons regarding the full path and relative path. The full path, when you, let's say, move that main drawing into a different folder, the full path will continue to connect the topographical survey with that main drawing. However, if you, let's say, copy pasted the main drawing with the Xrefs and everything into a different folder, then the Xref needs to be reloaded. The reason being, repathed. The reason being is because the full path, if we go to our project folder, it goes, let's say, System C, Civil Textures folder, Tutorials. If we move the Xref and the main drawing to a different folder, then they will no longer be connected. However, if we have it relative, then it will be relative to the main drawing. And then we have the rotation, and then we have the block units. So basically, when you attach a drawing into the main drawing, you check the units. So in this main drawing, we are unitless, and the topographical survey is the drawing settings are unitless. So the factor will be 1. And see, here's the path, and here will be the safe path. If we do the relative one, you can see it's ./Xref. So that's the relative path to the main drawing. So whenever we move the main drawing Xref path for the topographical survey will always try to find a folder named Xref. However, if we put the full path, as I said, it will always go to C drive, Civil Texture Tutorials. Now they have the pros and cons. For example, if you're taking the job at home, then it's easier to have relative path, and because you're taking the whole job folder at home, let's say you're working from home, you're taking this whole folder with you. Therefore, you want to keep it relative because the drive might change, because you might save it on your desktop. However, the Xref is relative to the main drawing. Now, enough theory, so let's look into some practice. So hit OK, and we brought our topographical survey. Now, the first thing you will notice is if we click on the topographical survey, you can see it's been brought in layer 0. So what we're gonna go ahead and do and create a new layer and name it Xref topographical survey. So let's name it a CTS topographical survey. Now, let's say I wanted the topographical survey to be green. So we're gonna set it green, and if you notice here in the Xref in the layer properties, it created an Xref, and you can have a selected topographical survey, and you can change your layer coloring from here. Now, let's do an example. So if you want to change the levels, let's say to red, let's change them to red. They did not change. Now, why is that? That might be because the levels are not set by layer. So if we go to our topographical survey, and if we select everything, and let's go and set it by layer, let's say the color, it was set, but probably wasn't saved because there is an asterisk there. So if we go, apologies, if we go and save it, the asterisk will be gone. If we go back to our main drawing, it will ask us to reload it. There is a window here at the bottom, so hit that, and you can see it became red. Now, this is when we change the layer properties from the Xref. What will happen if we move the topographical survey into the topographical survey layer? It's not going to become green. The way to control this is to go back to your topographical survey, select everything, and change it, the color property, from by layer to by block. By doing that, you're telling the properties, the entities, that they will be done by block. So in whichever layer they are, they will be transformed. So if we hit reload, you can see it becomes green. And if we, let's say we want to make it, let's say, I don't know, a light gray, it will become a light gray, all of them together, without having to change layer properties by itself. This is good. It has its pros and cons again. So if you have multiple Xref, if you want to color code them, then that's one way to do it. If you have few Xrefs, then just keep everything by layer, just so you can know that you left the same drawing. Tip: never touch the drawings that you come. Always save them as Xrefs. So if you do any changes, you always have the original file that it came on. Now let's look at the example of the conversion. Now we're gonna go attach the proposed model that is done in millimeters. So this drawing, its units is in millimeters, and the drawing has been drawn in millimeters. Now, yes, some people might ask, so why would you have the units in millimeters and not draw in millimeters? Well, you might forget that your CAD settings were set in millimeters, but usually you should have set it in unitless and then draw accordingly. As you can see here, is 26,000, which equates to 26 meters. So let's save this one, and let's import it and see what's gonna happen. Attach it and let's see what is gonna happen. So we're gonna go propose model, hit open, and you see here it detected that it's millimeters. Now, because the main drawing settings is unitless, it will not do any conversion. So if we bring it in, you can see that the millimeters drawing is up here, where the Xref, the topographical survey is down there. One way to solve this is the following. So let's detach it. So you hit right click and detach, so you remove it completely, and let's go attach again. Now, since we know that the proposed model is drawn in millimeters, all you can do is just change this. Hit the uniform scale and just do the conversion factor from millimeters to meters. It's 0.001. So if we hit OK now and we zoom in, you can see it brought it back in place. Now the other way to do it, so let's detach it, is to change the units of your drawing. So from unitless, we're gonna make it into meters because that's what they usually draw, the civil engineers. Structurals draw in millimeters. So we go attach TWG, and if we go to the proposed model, and you can see here millimeters, and the factor is 0.01, so it automatically detected the conversion factor. So if we hit OK, it brought it right in place. So it's good to know about this, so you can always have set up your drawings unitless and always do the conversion by yourself, so you know what you've done, or you can just do it automatically by having your drawing in meters and then just going into the CAD folder and just making it in millimeters, like so, changing it to 0.01. The other way to do this is just basically select your model and then scale it down by 0.01, but it's like whichever you see it's fit. So now that example is out of the way, what's the next thing that we want to cover? We want to cover the attachment and overlay. So let's say we are in the drainage folder, and let's say we have the proposed side model Xref in. So if you see, there is the DWG icon and then there is a white paper space behind it. So that is an overlay. As you can see here, it says overlay. To change that, you go from Xref type to attach. Now let's do the overlay first, so I can show you what's the difference. So let's detach our proposed model. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the drainage. So let's bring the drainage in. It's unitless, no conversion factors. We're gonna do the overlay, relative path, and then hit OK. You can see that it brought only the drainage. However, the drainage drawing has the proposed Xref. To change this and bring it with it, just right click, Xref type, attach, and then save your drawing. And then if you go back to your main drawing, it will reload and you can see it brought it with you. So this has its pros and cons. So some cases you don't want to have duplicate Xrefs, and the other cases you want to always bring it with it. For example, you're working on drainage and you have an Xref in it that says like existing drainage, so you always want to bring it with the drainage model wherever you Xref it in. So there's you can understand the benefits the more you use it. Now let's do the bind and insert. So let's say we need to send this drawing to the client. The one way that pretty much almost everyone knows is publish, e-transmit, and the e-transmit will ask you to save your drawing first, and then it will compile, like put together all the Xrefs you're using. See, we're using the topographical survey, the drainage, and the drainage has the external reference of the proposed model. So it will bring everything all this together. But let's say what we're not gonna send a zip file to the client, we just want to send him one DWG. Simple as that, because he might not be a CAD proficient. So one way to do it is to right click on the proposed model and then go bind. But in this case we cannot bind it because that proposed model was part of the Xref drainage. So let's fix that by going to Xref type, overlay, save it, and then let's go to the main drawing, reload, and we're gonna bring our proposed model in as well. So we're gonna go bring the proposed model, which is in millimeters. So we're gonna do the conversion 0.001, hit OK, it brought with it. Let's say we want to send this drawing to the client, so let's bring our Xref drainage. So we hit right click, bind. The difference between bind and insert: when you bind it, it will bring the either bind or insert, it will bring the drawing, the Xref drawing, into your drawing as a block. But the difference between bind and insert is if you bind it in the layer naming system, what it will do is we'll put the name of your drawing first, and then it will follow up with the layer setting. So let's do the bind for the graphical survey and you'll see. So if you go to layer properties, you can see Xref drainage, which is the name of our drawing, and then the layer name. Now, if we go with insert, and let's do it for the proposed model, bind insert, it will only bring the layers without the layering name on it. So let's go back to our drawing. So if we go layer properties, you can see CAD building, CAD car park, everything, and you can see this icon is there. These are the ones that they're being used, let's say, so you can actually use them, change them, and these are that cannot be used because they're part of a block. So you see the topographical survey came as a block, the same as with the proposed model. Now this should cover all the aspects regarding the Xref with DWG. You can do images, DWF, but we will cover them very later. Now, the only thing you need to be careful of is the UCS. UCS basically is this thing down here, your Y and X axis. Now, if we don't have the grids, you can have the Y and X axis. And if you turn on the grids, you can see the rectangles are like all of them like straight lines, perpendicular and horizontal. Now, we have a proposed model here is UCS. And what we want to do is we want to bring it to the main drawing. Now, let's say the UCS of this drawing is messed up. It's not correct. When we go Xref and let's say we want to bring our proposed model in, the proposed model will not come in the right place. The reason being is because the UCS is set up differently. So my advice is always make sure that when before you Xref, make sure your UCS is set correctly. And to set it correctly, you type UCS and then hit W for world and hit enter. And then if you want to make sure it's rotated correctly to the true north, type plan and then current. And that should be it. And now if we bring our proposed model, which is set on a different UCS, it will bring it in the right place, because what happened is the UCS of the Xref gets overridden by this UCS. So you can see it's brought here as per it was. However, here the UCS was wrong. But if the UCS was set up wrong here and we Xref it in, it won't come in the right place. So basically, when you Xref from one drawing to a drawing that the UCS is not correct, then the Xref will not come correctly. But if you Xref a UCS that is not correct into a drawing that the UCS is correct, then it will still come correctly. And that should cover everything that you need to know about the Xrefs. Last thing is, if you want to change your path, you just go here, select your Xref and just go here and change it, or you can actually change everything through here so you can avoid the double click. And here you can change the referencing name. So let's say we don't want to have proposed model UCS, we want to say that's today's date, so 06/1/2020, actually 21, and hit enter. It will just rename it for you, or just right click and or just hit F2. Apparently rename is not in the options here. And you can compare it now with the new version of AutoCAD with recent changes. And you can select a new path, change path types, make absolute or relative. So it's up to you. You can open it from here, or you can edit your Xref through the main drawing. So you just select it, hit right click, edit Xref in place. It will ask you, is that the Xref you want to edit? Yes, I wanna. And then all you have to do is just edit it. Now my drawing was locked, that's why I didn't open it, but for you, it should open it just fine. So I hope you find this tutorial useful and you learned something new, and we will be bringing next a PDS tutorial regarding the grading. So basically how can I create a slope from an existing line, or how to create a slope to tie in with an existing ground model. So subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you for watching.